All right, so here we go, guys. This is going to be, um, I don't think it's going to be, we're not going to be here all day, right? It's only going to take half an hour or so, okay?
Yeah.
This is also the first time that I've done this. Um, so this first time I'm doing this, so then, I will be, stumbling, and so it's not going to be a perfect recording, okay? But the ultimate goal for right now is for you to understand just another thing. It's not the be all and end all. It's not perfect, whatever, but it might help you hold trades a little bit longer, and it might help you with your calm you down a bit about that you've got the direction right, etc. Okay, so I'm not going to. I'll talk about it in a second. Okay. Right, so we are going to talk about a trend assisting strategy. It's just there to assist you. It's not a strategy in itself, even though that this indicator or this strategy was built and designed by somebody for it to be a full strategy within its entirety, right? But I'm not using it for that. I'm going to use this this indicator, or only just one component of this indicator, just as a guideline. Okay? All right, so let's just talk about it. All right. Okay, so and I've highlighted it here, and you guys can read this yourself. The strategy is to accompany our other day trading strategies like first touch VWAP, first touch MAs, SR levels, etc. Okay, and it's intended to assist with holding the trades for a complete trend or a complete swing, and also to stop us from standing in front of the freight train, which there's been a problem with that, especially with you, Pete, right? That we see a large SR level, but the train's already left the station basically, and you're going to get absolutely nailed on it. Okay, so there's what it's called is it's called it's a Lorenz was a mathematician basically, and this is a way that it's just another way of being able to learn machine learning. Okay, it's not AI. There's a big difference between AI and machine learning. But what we can do is, if in here, let me actually just get rid of the script itself so I can show you from the beginning. Okay, so in indicators, we're going to go to machine learning. Okay, and it's this Doherty, whatever his name is here, DE30 or whatever. Stick that on to your charts. Okay. And we can see that there's a lot more complexity to it, okay, than just the regression line. Okay, so this center moving average type thing is called the regression line. Okay, and however, what it does is it learns from its history and the recent candles about how it whether it's long, short, or whatever. Okay, so this is the count back of what the candles look like. The long and short in here are actually the signal itself. Okay, and we can set up alerts around this so that we can actually be alerted for it changing. Now, I don't use, I have been testing it. I've been playing with this for about 6 or 7 months now. It's not perfect on all time frames, on all instruments. I found it to be pretty good on DAX though. Okay, but if you go and put it on ES or YM, it's kind of shit. Okay, so it's not perfect. Especially if you get trade, especially if you get price action that moves up and down quite a bit. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. I'll try not to. I kind of I'm swaying all over the place at the moment, but you'll get what I'm saying. Okay, so let's just go to the actual settings in here. All we're interested in is this kernel regression estimate. That's what I'm finding. Okay, so the buy signal, the sell signal, the exit signals, the bar coloring, you know, all the labels, etc. Just get rid of them all. Okay, now you guys can go play with this as much as you want. Go knock yourselves out. Okay, but this is what I've found in the last 6-7 months of me mucking around with it. Okay, yeah, and I'm not really. I've never been a fan of indicators. Okay, because they're all lagging, and this is definitely lagging, this thing. But I'll go back to the original premise. It's there as an assist, right? It's just assisting us. Okay. It's not there to be, you know, to be strictly followed. Like if you sell here, you know, you're in the wrong direction, aren't you? Okay, I'm talking about here, guys. If you sell on that, you're definitely in the wrong direction. All right. So what I'll also do is I'll thicken it right up. Okay, so everyone can see it. Okay, so you can give false signals all the way along, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Okay. Now let me see whether I'm still on the right track. See, I've gone off, right? Okay, so what we can do, let's go into the actual script. Okay, so the source code script in here. Okay, here it is. Now, I do encourage you to always don't just blindly follow what I'm doing. Learn about it. Okay, so read this script, and this will just give you an idea of how Lorentzian statistics work, basically. Okay, and how it's modeled. Okay, so it's got a different type of modeling to normal distributions. Okay, or learning. Okay, so have a read of that. I don't expect you to understand what the code means, but just kind of follow this. Also, what I've got put in here, I put in here a bunch of YouTube videos on Lorentzian transformations. Okay, which is, if you're interested, have a look at it. You don't have to go into detail with it, but it's always good to have a, you know, as deep as you can get in your own ability to understand it. So we're not PhDs in mathematics, but try and understand it as much as you can so that you're comfortable with it. Okay. All right. So as with most strategies, this is not faultless. It's got faults all over it. Okay, so we need to just take that with a grain of salt. Hence, it needs to be a discretionary assist and not used as a mechanical tool for precise execution. Okay, all right. So preparation for your charts. Let's get rid of this now. All right, let's move this away. And I think I've already just done it. Okay, we are still going to continue using all of the same indicators that we've got on the chart. MAs, 1,000, 500, 200, 150. Yep, SMAs. Also, we're going to continue having the VWAP on there. Okay, if you want to put the anchored VWAP on there as well, you can. I'm going to say this again. Don't clutter up your charts so that you can't see price action. And you can see by my charts that the main focus is still price action, isn't it? Okay, all of my lines in there are very dim, so they're not overpowering. Okay, except for this one, because that's the topic of discussion at the moment. Okay. All right, so in here we're still going to put everything in. We're going to continue our standard analysis, you know, SR levels, channels, TLs, etc., so that we know where the turning points may be. Stick on the indicator, which I've just described to you, and there it is. Okay, and hide everything except for the regression line. Okay, simple. It's simple. Go long when it turns green. Go short when it turns red. Obviously, you can already see that there is a problem. Okay? The problem is if you're in an uptrend and it goes red, you're coming in pretty late. Okay? Let's just take this for example. This was Friday night. Okay? This was Friday night. We've got there's our leg to the upside. Struggled trying to get to 1600, but all the early birds were coming in at just before at 15.9. 10 points ahead because they thought from after the ECB. So I'm still analysing the market. I'm not just going, oh, go red, go short, right? Obviously, we're in an uptrend. We've got the 382 sitting there as well, okay? So going short on there, that's a pretty dumb move, okay? It's not terribly intelligent. I mean, it did go red in here. You're so close, and we're going to try and complete this uptrend. But once we've identified the double top, and then we're starting to turn over, right? Even in here, you could have done it, but over here, yes. So after once you've identified the turning point, the reversal pattern, the big SR level, the bottom and the top of the channel, this will assist you in going short and then holding on to it, because we're holding. You probably get out down here. Yep. Pete's got a question. Go.
Well, more of a statement, but yesterday...
Hang on, you need to use the mouse so everybody can see.
Yesterday I went long here off the VWAP.
First touch VWAP.
Yeah.
Okay, well there was
double top in there, we know that.
Yeah. Well, that's an error. That you don't need the regression line to know that that's an error.
What I was going to say though is that I went here on the retest.
You went short?
Down to like here somewhere.
Yep.
Now there was confirmation now from this thing is what I'm
exactly,
saying.
right. So,
and the first way there was the double top and it was against this.
Correct, right. So we're still using all of the same stuff. All right, so we're all still using the same analysis, okay? So I went long here off the VWAP, okay? So the good thing about this is so this is pre-market, right? Let's say I go short in here, okay, thinking that it's going to bust through the VWAP and we've had the run already from yesterday. My exit point is, probably somewhere here, so it's only 5 point and then I reverse it. So this will give you... and I'm going to talk about something else in here. Small stops. It will give you small stops if you're wrong. Okay. The problem is if you go short, then you go long, and then you go short, then you're long. This is going to catch you. This type of thing. But if you can be, you're going to be patient enough to wait for your reversal off the top, bottom, etc. Then once it starts running, it gives you the ability to hold on to it and let it fade itself out. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, so that was, going long there was an error outside of scope of what we're talking about today, because you've completely missed the double top, and we've already discussed that in the past about trading first touch VWAP, that we don't do it when we're coming out of the top or the bottom or a reversal pattern. Yeah. Okay. But in here, you would have taken this, you've gone short in here on the retest of the VWAP, okay? Now, and you've kind of come out somewhere down here?
Yeah.
Yep, okay, so that would have been 30 points?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so if we actually held it and put a little bit more belief in this regression line, okay, that we could have taken a good 60 points
to
out.
1618.
To the 1618. Okay, so that's where it's going to assist you, right? Until it starts changing its color, may tend to just keep running. Yeah. Okay. Now, let me go back so that I know that I'm not digressing too much. Okay, buy long. Green is long buy. Red is sell short. Okay, pretty simple stuff. Okay. But obviously that's not it. Remember, it's there for an assist and not a rigid execution mechanism, okay? Warning, sometimes if you can get false signals, okay? Here, false, okay, when it's going sideways. So if it's going sideways, what we need to do is to just play this with a modicum of intelligence, okay? And what that means is that we don't trade it. Well, this is odd because this is ECB, but let's go back over into pre-market trading. So over here, let's say, well, I mean, it's all good, right? Okay, but you'll be able to find it yourself. Here we go. Here's the change of a day. Okay, this was on. This is obviously Monday morning. Okay, or Monday Asian session in here. Okay, we just don't trade it during the Asian session because you don't have the volatility. Okay, you don't have the volume to give the momentum to it. Okay, we need the volume in there. We need the Europeans in there. We need the US traders in there to actually get the thing to move, right? So an idea for you to, when you're creating a strategy around this, is consider the trading times pre-market from 1600 winter time in Australia. Will be a good time to start off with this thing, okay, and not trading Asian session, okay. So we've got to make sure that we consider that. All right. Okay. I did jump ahead there. Let me go back. Okay, guys. Let me go back because I did jump all over the place here. How can this assist us? Okay, this will help us make us more comfortable in holding the trade for longer. Okay, instead of just trying to get out. Okay, and it will keep going until the run is kind of exhausted. Okay, it's not often that you get V's. Okay, and typically when you do get a V, it's kind of on the end of a run, isn't it? Okay. So, and there's always plenty in it somewhere throughout the week for you to actually get a really good, nice run out of this thing. Okay. All right. So it's very rare that we just get a V, and we know what happens when we do get a V. That's a reversal signal. So bam, we're off again. Okay. Very rarely that we'll get a V and then it just goes like this. Okay. It usually just goes straight back up as a head and shoulders or something. Okay. Next. Try not to digress too much. Okay. It will also assist us, right, in not standing in front of the freight train. Okay. If we're in strong green, you don't sell. Do not sell it, even if you've got a big cluster sitting there, cluster of SR or whatever. Just don't sell it. Okay. Just hold on to it. Okay. Because remember, this on the other day, right? It just kept moving. We had a huge cluster up in here somewhere, okay? And there was selling going on in which it just pops through it. But this will help you hold on to it, okay? All right, next. Okay. All right, so this is how I do it, all right? I grab the 5-minute chart. Okay, so obviously on a 1-minute chart, you're going to get chopped up more, aren't you? Yep. You can see it does get choppy. But it's not a disaster. You can just go for scalps out of this chop. Okay, 10, 15 point scalps. No problem. So what I've got is, what I do is I've got a 5-minute chart and a 1-minute chart. And these are just ideas that I'm throwing out there, okay? And I would like everybody not just to take what I say as, be all and end all, so you can come back and blame me when it goes wrong, right? I want you to do your research on this, and I want you to collect your own statistics on this, okay? And we can all work together to get this thing, if it's got legs, get it to, get it to a place where, it's actually worth using, okay? I think it's worth using. So let's say that we've got a 1-minute chart, okay? So this obviously came screaming up during the session. There's that VWAP bounce and then it starts moving up. You wouldn't be selling that, would you? Because we're already on the 5-minute chart. That's pretty steep, isn't it? So you don't, you know, you use your brain, right? If we've got a 5 minute upward move, we're in the green zone, right? We're not going to start pulling the cells out of on the 1 minute chart, are we? Right? It's going to probably keep going. But you can see here now it's starting to slow down. Divergence is pretty obvious there, isn't it, on the RSI? Yep. So therefore we could probably start selling. Now what we can do is we can go down. It's not really giving us anything here, but we do notice that this thing's slowing down. Okay. So you can go short. Okay. Now these shorts, then it's certainly not over. So it's up to you whether you're doing it or not. But if we take a short in here, let's say there, right, you've still got 15, 16 points out of that. And if you have 25 or 50 lots on the market, you know, that's not bad. Okay. You know, you can get yourself $500 pretty quickly out of that, doing that type of thing. Okay. But you know, you may want to ask yourself, okay, if I'm going to do this, I want to have double confirmation. I want to be, let's say that we're going red on the 5 minute and red on, if I'm noticing red here on the 1 minute, I want to wait for the 5 minute to do the same thing. And therefore we've got double confirmation. Okay. You also another confirmation is, okay, I'm only going to do this after I see a reversal pattern of some sort. Head and shoulders, double top, double bottom, bounce off SR, stuff like that. Okay. That will give us a better reaction. Okay. Let me just go to a point over here, in here. This is all red on the downside. Okay. See how long it took to get going? Okay, let me go over to the 1 minute chart, and this is a little bit of a trap that happened to me. So let me just get to the point. In here, okay. I went long on that. I got 15 out of it. You went short on the FT50, okay, right? And then I went long again, and then I got caught. Okay, because I didn't wait until this thing turned over properly. Okay, so that brings me to my next point. Okay, traps. Where's the trap? Here. The first thing that we must do, an absolute must, will be only take trades on the close of the candle. Right? And I've done this. I did it the other day, and I did it a couple of times. I came in about 5 seconds or 10 seconds before the end of the candle, and the thing changed. Okay, so it can repaint. Okay, it's what's called repainting. Okay, you don't think that you think it's going to close on a color change, right? Have to wait for the end of the candle. Okay, and we've got the countdown on the side of our bar here, on our we've got a timing countdown. If you don't have a timing countdown on your y-axis, then you need to put it on there so you can count yourself into the close of the candle. Where am I? All right. So trap, entering before the candle closes. Okay, it can be very detrimental, and it's stung me a couple of times. Okay. Okay, I'll talk about that in 1 second. Okay. Okay, let me talk about it now, actually. No, let me go back. Okay, first one was the candle close, okay? The second one is I'm going long here before we've actually turned over on the 5 minute, okay? So your choice, you do some study for yourself on this. Do you want to take the risk of doing it, coming in early, or do you want to, continue, let the thing actually finish and turn over, because in here there's a sell in there as well, and then there's the turnover point. So I came in long here, okay, when this turned over and this turned over, okay, at the same time. Okay, so there's your long right there, okay, and look at the thing all the way up. Okay.
And on the 5 minute, it didn't actually give any sell signal. Do you notice that?
Yep. Look, no sell signal. Hold it all the way up until there, right? Okay, so you would have been up to here. Now this is freaky. This here, that's freaky. Look at it. It just went up and then bam, straight off. And this was all right on the ECB. That was just before the ECB release, right? So there's the ECB in there. Okay. All right. Let me talk about one other thing. Okay. Two more things actually. Okay. If we're already, let's say that we're already in a fairly steep, we're already, red short here. Okay. We're red short over here on the 5 minute. And this here is the open of the session. 57. There's your open of the session. Okay. And then bam, goes. Right. What do? Okay. To let the thing run out. I did. You can just go, okay, it's already halfway in a trend. Okay. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna wait. Okay. That's good. Secondly, it's not going to make you stand in front of it, is it? Okay. So we're not going long anywhere until it actually starts to look like it's going sideways and turning over. But what we can do is, if you notice in here, have a good notice, right? Let me do this. We've opened, okay, and it's come back to the regression line, okay. So if you're going to take a risk, you put a sell limit at the regression line or just in front of it or something like that. And I've noticed this quite a bit, that if it does pop through, okay, it will come back and touch it, right? See here, it touches, okay, bam, through, comes up and comes close to it, okay. All right, so that's a possibility to consider if it's already on a leg going. Have a look at this one over here. And this is great for double, triple convergence confirmation, right? There's the 1600 open, okay? Comes down, comes back up, hits the regression line, the 100 and the VWAP all at the same time, okay? Now that's a sell. That's like, fuck it, you got to sell it. Yep, okay? And that's at 1630, so that's before the actual open. All right, so we can start trading this at 1600 when our spread shortens. Spread goes down to 0.9, okay, from 2.7. Okay, so I do not suggest you trade Asian session at 2.7 spread. And if you're getting a higher spread, you're not with Ox, you're getting a higher spread than 0.9 during the session, you need to move. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, have a look at it retracing back into, look at this, pops up, comes back into the regression line. So you can come in here, or you can get a better fill back on here, back at the regression line. Does that make sense? All right. But sometimes look at this, it just goes up and it doesn't come back. Okay, just off it goes. Okay, so keep that in under consideration. Okay, what do we do at open? Yep. And once we do get a change, just sometimes it will come back and retest the regression line straight away, and that's sometimes a way better fill than coming in at the end of the candle, because you've got, let's have a look here. If you come in at that candle versus, that's 10 point gain, or 10 point, or let's go call it 8 or 9 point better fill. Okay. All right. Next.
It's also the retest of VWAP there too.
Yes. Well, I do suggest, I highly recommend that you could, under the convergence, mantra that I keep preaching, right? We stay with it, right? You've got to have more than one reason. Yep. And this is why I get everybody to learn as much as possible about it. But this will assist, because this is what, I guess, let me go, this should be at the start of the video, okay? That when you do learn everything, you're trying to juggle classic TA, harmonics, fucking VWAPs, all of these different strategies, it becomes overwhelming, and it's happened to you. You go, oh no, then you're a deer in headlights. You can't move, right? And then you just get confused and you get pissed off with it and all that. So this will help. This will help with that. This will kind of mechanicize, is that a word? Make mechanical.
Yeah.
Mechanize, I should say, mechanize. This should mechanize it a little bit more so that you're a bit more comfortable, okay? And this is the whole premise and whole idea of what I'm trying to do here. Get everyone to be a little bit more comfortable. Go, yep, okay, that's short, okay? Yes, I've got the VWAP. I'm going short. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this thing right down to here, okay, when it actually turns over. Because there's another clear reversal signal, and then you can go long. Yep, that's the whole idea, okay? Instead of us taking and standing in front of freight trains and things like that, this should make you more comfortable with holding your trade and making the right decision, okay? Because look, there's a reversal pattern in there, and there's your long, there's your fair value gap in here. There's fair value gap, okay? And there's your long, and all the way back up, okay? And all you need to do is one of these a day, mate, and then we'll be good, okay? All right, so.
And you can use it as a trail, basically.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is just hold on to have a stop loss up in here, right?
Yeah.
And just hold on to this thing until it turns over.
Yeah.
Just go watch TV.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to sit. Please don't sit there and stare at it, right? Because you'll find every excuse under the sun to get out, especially when you're in profit, right? Because the 30 points you took could have been 60. Yep.
And don't go BE, go to the fractal.
Correct.
You know,
yeah, because nobody knows where your BE is,
yeah.
right? Okay. All right. I've done the retesting. I've done that. Done that. All right, so what I'll do, this document's not complete in its entirety, okay? So I'm still going to add to it. But what I'll do, please don't share this with anybody. What I'll do is I will, where is it? I'll put it up, okay, in the video training. When I put this video up, I'll put this, this document with it, okay? Have I spoken of it? Have I said everything? Is everyone clear on it? You can talk. You can unmute yourselves.
Yeah, it's all making sense so far, yeah.
Okay. Everybody happy with it?
Oh yeah.
Come on, give me some feedback here, guys. I need my ego boosted.
I noticed the trade sometimes that it is keeping out of some VWAP bounces that would work, but what it is, I did notice, is the ones that it was keeping you out of, they weren't, like there was one I just noticed before on the 5 minute as well, it would have kept you out of it.
Okay, can you show me what you're talking about, mate?
I have to find it.
No, not that one.
No, this one, sorry. What day is this? Thursday. It wasn't this one. No, hang on.
You're on Monday now.
Yeah. I did see it because I saw it before and I was looking at it on the Friday when you were telling me. Here.
Yep.
Now what my point is that I was going to make was, there's a trade here. You're going against this, so then maybe just go, that's the time to go for the scalp.
Yes, of course. Yes, I understand
So
what you're
maybe
saying.
we can
Okay,
use it
so
for-
because there is definitely a trade here because this
Yeah,
is
I
first
took that.
touch. Yeah, and that's not
And I
a
took it off on that SR.
yeah. Well, this is the thing. You can go short up in here if you've got this. Let's go back over here. Okay, let's take our fib from the whole thing to the downside. There's our fib. We've got 50% VWAP. You know, there's a convergent. I think there was a SR in there somewhere. So yes, that's a sell.
Yeah.
So you can sell that, and then where do you get out?
There.
At the regression line.
Yeah.
Right? And then you reverse, go long again.
And also that regression line is confluence of all this
right?
level that you've
But
got.
just think about this, right? So there's obviously SR in here. Look at this wick. So if this is pumped, this is at some point in time during this 5 minute period, this was a full bodied candle to the downside. Okay? And you've gone long in here. Are you going to freak out and exit at a loss only to watch it go bump and then run to the upside? Yes, right. Okay. It's very, very easy. Where you can put the stop here.
Yeah.
So you just get nipped.
Yeah, you get nipped. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're going to put it down on this last fractal, and then look at the size of the loss. It's huge.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So these are things that you've got to consider, right? Because it's very easy for us to sit here in hindsight and go, oh yeah, that candle, that's a big wick candle, but you've forgotten that this was a full-bodied bearish engulfing to the downside at some point. And if you're sitting there staring at the bloody thing, right, you're going to be freaking out and going, I'm getting out, I'm out, fucking market close, right? Only to watch it turn around. Yep. So, come on, be smart about this, okay? All right, so because over here, if we take it onto the 1 minute, we're looking at it on the 1 minute here, right? That's a sell all the way down into here, okay? It's even penetrated through this SR slightly, okay? So, it's going to play with your brain. It's going to play with your emotional state. It's going to play with you, okay? So this is, I guess that's the next step. Is not only just, because this is all mechanical and things like that, but the reason why most people will lose is because they completely overthink it and they don't, their stops are potentially too close, using too high a leverage, whatever it might be, where they will just get nipped, right? But if this is a full-bodied candle down here, this is most probably, this kernel regression line will be red, but the candle hasn't finished yet. So that's why we go back here and don't do anything until the candle has closed. Okay? All right. Any other questions?
Just saying, which I love how especially on the 5 minute chart, which I've done a lot of trading on the 5 minute chart, this just hugs price quite nicely.
Yes, it does.
And that was the exact trade that I let myself be faked out of before it moved up, the one you were just showing.
Yep.
And having that 5 minute regression line, you just go, well, I'll just wait.
Yep.
Just wait.
So the next, because that's what it's there. Just wait. It makes you, what I found it to do is makes me more patient.
Yeah.
It's made me way more patient. All right. Okay. This is DAX, right? This thing doesn't quite work very well on the other instruments. Okay. Other markets, I should say. Okay. One thing that I should actually put in there is consider when the high volatility times are as well. Okay, approaching news, etc. It might be better then. In quiet times, it might not be good at all. Okay, I mean look at this. This is a S&P, right? But I mean look at the VWAP got you. Everything got you. I mean that's just a mess in there, right? And this is ECB announcement. Okay. But, have a look at it on YM and NQ. Just have a look. I don't think it's really done that well. Okay. I mean, look, up, down, it's a lot more volatile. Dow Jones, YM and NQ, etc. Okay. But anyway, have a play with it. All right. It's free for everybody. I mean, that's just a nightmare in there, isn't it? It makes you sweat. I mean, look at this. This is YM at, from Tuesday at European Open. It's like, It's
And then
disgusting.
it just sort of went up and straight down.
Yeah, look, you wouldn't want to be following this because you're going to come in here. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't come in there because you've got the VWAP right there as well, right? But if you came in here, it hardly moves, and then you're getting clipped again, right? So it's not perfect. So just, it's there as an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. That's all I'm going to do. 42 minutes. That's a reasonably good video. We've gone across it. If you want to start using it, go ahead. But follow what my advice that I've just given you on the video. I'll post this video up Monday.
Awesome. Thanks, Richard.
Monday.
I'll have a play around.
Have a play around with it. All right, guys. I'm out of here. See you later.
Cheers, Richard. Thanks for your time.
Good time, mate. See ya.
All right.